Let's have fun. Hey, hey, everybody. How's it going out there? As you know, I'm Hugh with Irreverent Warriors, and I'm here with our director of marketing, Anna, one of my favorite
Oh,
people to hang out with on a Friday. How you doing today?
I'm doing just fine. Ready for it to be Friday.
Tell me what you're doing this weekend since you live by the beach and I don't. So I want to hear about this.
Well, actually, my brother-in-law is coming to visit, so hopefully we'll make it to the beach, but currently on the schedule is a lot of golfing.
Is this the one that designed the Irreverent Warriors grenade t-shirt?
Oh, that's a different one.
Oh, it's a different brother-in-law. All right,
Yeah,
'cause that's
yeah.
my favorite. That is my all-time favorite IW T-shirt, and I've watched it 100 times, and it still has that gold. Like the grenade has a gold paint in it. I really like it.
Yeah, the ruck around and find out one.
Rock around and find out. You got it.
Yeah. Yeah, it started off as maybe I'd catch a grenade for you, but we figured that wasn't really a good marketing line. So,
We may have to revive that someday, but
yeah.
um,
No, I think this
so
brother designed like the fuel pump on an airplane or something. Super
so he's
smart.
really smart.
Yeah, I guess it runs in Nate's family.
That doesn't surprise me at all. So, what we're going to talk about today, the run of show for this live stream is going to be the disaster response that IW and Grunt Style Foundation are currently engaged in Texas. IW Texas has come together to support the communities in and around the Guadalupe River flood. For those of you that have heard about that, we're gonna touch on that. The next thing we're going to get into is some of the hikes we have coming up, one of them being Des Moines, Iowa, this weekend. So we're going to check in with Olivia, the leader in Des Moines, and see what she's excited about and what's going on. After that, we are going to talk about the belly flop contest that just took place in Tennessee and check in and get some of the highlights off the belly flop contest. They did that as a part of their FAFO fundraising event for July. And then we're going to talk about the 10-year IW anniversary that just happened on the 4th of July. There was a massive concert in St. Louis and festival and silky hike at the St. Louis Arch on the Mississippi riverfront, and just talking a little bit about that and watching some clips from that IW 10-year anniversary, which was just phenomenal. And after that, we're going to get into The Hike Back, which is our documentary film that has finally been released as of the 4th of July. It has been released on streaming platforms. The most viewed is on YouTube streaming. So you can find that on the Irreverent Warriors channel on YouTube. So we're going to jump in and start talking about that. So that's the run of show. So that's what we're going to cover today. And we are not live in the studio due to a lot of travel this week. We are experimenting with virtual only. So that's why you're seeing everybody. Nobody's in the studio today. So, yeah, we'll
Classic
jump into the
Clubhouse.
Guadalupe River IW response if we want to run some of that. But I just got back from San Antonio. I was down there working with Matt Scally and other IW volunteers. They've been doing water resupply and a bunch of other critical items, socks, food, primarily water, and then also grunt style clothing. And as you all know, the devastation down there is pretty horrible. And I think a nice place that Irreverent Warriors volunteers fit into disaster response is being able to do resupply convoys. You're seeing video right now of sorting being done at the warehouse to get clothing over to the people that lost everything. One of the things that our partnership with the VFW has really brought to the forefront is when I was down in Texas, I noticed that the VFW has really stepped up when it comes to the disaster response. And the Grunt Style Foundation, my boss Will Wisner and Tim Jensen, they were actually leading the disaster response in a certain area, and they were using VFW Post 76 in downtown San Antonio as a collection point for all the goods and all the donations that were needed. And then IW folks were putting them in their trucks and in their trailers and doing the resupply convoys. and running it up to VFW Post 1480, which is on the banks of the Guadalupe River up there in Center Point, Texas. And it was working really smoothly. And I was super impressed with the auxiliary from Post 1480 and the members of Post 1480. The way that they had turned their VFW into a distribution center was just inspirational. It was phenomenal. And the way that we were able to pull up with our trucks and our trailers very quickly and efficiently unload, they were sorted and placed into pallets and in an organized way. And then people that were pulling up that needed things, needed water, food, clothing, were able to immediately get it. Tools, there were a lot of tools that are needed. I was helping one group pick out different shovels and rakes and different ways to get mud out of buildings and mud out of homes. And it was really cool to see Irreverent Warriors come together and volunteer to do those resupply convoys. I feel like the resupply convoy is really a great fit for us. Um, Anna,
Workhorsing.
Anna,
I
what do you think? Thoughts?
Well, it just kind of reminded me of the first time I ever did disaster response, and it was actually before I joined the military. And you might know about this a little, but I did response to the Joplin tornado that happened. I think it was 15-ish years ago, and it was probably the worst tornado in recorded in history. I think it was just massive, but
It took out the
I
whole
just
town.
rem yeah, it did. And I remember when I went there with the organization, and it was driving through the normal towns, and then all of a sudden it was just like, as far as you could see, it looked like a bomb went off. Like a giant, like everything was decimated, and just hearing the stories of the people that had experienced it was just really wild. And that's the first thing I kind of thought of, and it wasn't even the initial response. So were you able to even talk to anyone, or what was your kind of initial response personally when you first showed up to the scene?
So, what choked me up, the most devastating thing I saw was children's playgrounds that had just been completely twisted into these crazy balls of metal, and then, swing sets just completely twisted around trees, massive evergreens. It's like if someone took 10 evergreens and rolled them into a ball and then made this giant mound with trees just randomly sticking out of it. The way the river, I guess, pushes, it rolls things. So it
Yep.
just rolls up all this debris. And it was very hard to see. And just the power that nature has when a natural disaster hits, the power that we go through our daily lives and don't even really think about it. But when something
Yeah.
does hit, you see what can occur. It blows you away.
Yeah, it turns out nature's pretty powerful. I think it's really amazing that we were able to come under the umbrella of other organizations and help support their mission in the supply runs and their organization points. I know, like for Irreverent Warriors, we just always want to help, and sometimes that needs some strong direction. And I really appreciated that, like the VFW, and I think I saw a couple of organizations down there that I can't think off the top of my head, but they had actual points where they were working with people and being able to supply everyone in an organized manner, which is what you were saying. So that's pretty awesome.
Yes, I think the resupply convoy mission is perfect for us because there are a lot of organizations and a lot of people that are retired, and they can organize, they can sort, they can distribute, but unloading and uh, loading and unloading, and then also being able to drive things in a convoy fashion and be able to stay organized as a convoy, I think is a unique skill set that Irreverent Warriors can fit into.
Yeah, you were tired once, you'll be tired again. We're retired.
Yeah, yeah, true. Um, yeah, so it was cool to see. It was cool to see Grunt Style and Grunt Style Foundation kind of heading up a lot of the efforts and the response down there. I had a really good feeling about everything coming together and everyone working well together. And
Yeah.
so I could see that in other natural disasters or disaster responses. I could see IW volunteers, that resupply convoy mission really being something that makes sense for us. But yeah, let's go. Do you have anything you want to add?
I was just gonna say, I really think it shows the importance of what we're trying to build with local communities.
Yes.
Because, there's also flooding happening in North Carolina, Chicago, and New Mexico, and hopefully we'll be able to have the communities help reach out there as well, just like we did in Texas.
Yeah, I mean the tribe, building a tribe, small tribe, big tribe, build a tribe. I'm with it. So let's jump. Speaking of tribes, so one of our primary services that Irreverent Warriors offers is the Silkies hike, and let's talk about Silkies hikes. I'm really excited to bring on Olivia. She is a local coordinator in Des Moines. Talk about building a tribe. She has just done a phenomenal job in Iowa of building camaraderie and using humor and humorous events to bring people together. So we'll bring Olivia up, and we really want to.
Where'd she go? Psych, we thought we
Speaking
could go
of,
into the belly flop contest.
yes, we
No?
will go into another humorous event, and that is going to be the belly flop contest. So let's go ahead and bring up Brad and Lex. I know they were both there. So we do these FAFO events in July at Irreverent Warriors, and they're friends and family outings. And we've got Brad and Lex on, who are both present at the Tennessee belly flop contest that just occurred. Um, I would love to check in with Lex and see, hey, what did you think of the belly flop contest?
I was impressed and surprised at the same time. It was something that I've seen in a couple of videos, and I thought it was just a joke. As you see, I'm sitting there off to the side minding my business, wasn't expecting the belly flop. And as soon as the first person jumped in the water, I realized I was a little too close to the fire.
Ha!
So I kind of took a step back, but actually, it was impressive. It was impressive how these guys were able to kind of embrace the suck and put their body through a little level of pain. But they all had fun doing it.
Well, hey man, you're not a small guy yourself. I'm kind of seeing you in the video and seeing that you're a little bit bigger than all these guys. Where were you asked to join the belly flop contest, and you basically said thanks but no thanks?
No, no, no. So I had arrived just in time for the belly flop. My daughter and I had road tripped. We went to St. Louis, and then we ended up going there a little late because we were helping with the tear down of St. Louis. So by the time we got there, they had just started. And we weren't going to run and change real quick. So we just kind of sat back and enjoyed it. It would
Great,
have been fun.
wonderful, Brad. I want to hear who won.
I don't think there was ever any clear determining factor of who won. It kind of became quite chaotic with all of the splashing around.
Love it, love it.
I
Are
would
you guys
never.
gonna do? Are you guys gonna step it up next year? How are you gonna step it up? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna get? Are you gonna get some bigger folks, or what are you gonna do?
Belly
Next
flop
pool
on
party, we're going to go
spikes.
official. We're going to have scorecards and everything. It kind of just happened. We were all in the pool having a good time, and this intrusive thought came across my mind. It was like, hey, Texas just did a belly flop contest, and we do better things here in Memphis and Tennessee than Texas does, especially barbecue. So
True.
I was like, we
Sorry.
can do a belly flop contest too. And I was like, all right, let's do this. So I like yelled out belly flop contest. And then like everybody got in line and it just kind of happened. So like there was no real organization to it. I know we can do better.
Spontaneous belly flopping at the FAFO event for IW. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Really great hearing from both of you. Brad, great to see you, man. I hope to see you soon. Lex,
Third,
go ahead and stay on because we're gonna start talking about the IW 10-year concert that just happened. Um,
We've got
Wonderful.
our hike coordinator here now, though, so we can go into that now.
We can do the 10-year because Lex is on. Yeah. So let's go ahead. Lex and Stacy. Stacy was also there at the IW 10-year anniversary concert and Silky's hike and drone show and VIP backstage access at the festival. So last week in St. Louis, July 4th, we had a 10-year anniversary concert in St. Louis under the St. Louis Arch, and we'll talk to Stacy and Lex about their experience. So, Lex, I'll start with you. What was your favorite aspect of the event?
This is going to sound cheesy, but the camaraderie. It was my very first time in St. Louis, and aside from social media, I didn't really know many of the team, but the level of love that everyone showed there, everyone was pretty nice. Everything was very organized outside, even outside of the IW umbrella. Yes, everything was very organized. We knew exactly where to be, where to go. Everyone
Jeff,
felt
you.
safe. It was fun. I showed up with my little girl, as you can see, my little broke bestie, and we had a blast. She felt like she belonged.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it when we can include the family. I mean, I think the spouses and the kids really get a kick out of it, and they really love supporting us, and it was just a really good time. Um, Thanks for that, Stacy. What was your highlight? What was your favorite part?
I had a couple of favorite parts. I was rebounding from the Vincennes hike, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. Um, but what I found is when I got there, like there were so many Indiana people, including two of our hike virgins from Vincennes came. My banner boys, they carried my banner all day in Vincennes, and seeing those hike virgins from the weekend before already at their second event was a big deal. But then when we were on stage after we hiked in from the arch, um, hearing our kids be like, "That's my mom. Look, guys, that's my mom." And then you have like the audience out there like trying to figure out what kid is pointing to which adult. It was an interesting take because you don't really think it's a big deal. So that was kind of in itself.
Got it. Yeah. Nice.
Hold on.
Nice. Lex, how did you feel when you were on stage? When you were on stage looking at the audience, what did you think?
It was surreal. It felt very humbling to see that the level of love. There was no politics. There was no talk of anything. For that moment, we were all just one, and everyone was united. We were all celebrating and enjoying the fourth. And to see the level of support that everyone had for the military, for all of us there, and us raising a toast, the toast that we celebrated, and everyone participating in that. I think that that was a very humbling moment to know that even for a moment, we can all kind of come together. For a moment, we came together and we were one. We were just Americans, celebrating the fourth and enjoying our day. So I think that was very humbling to see everyone kind of gather around there for us.
Yeah, I agree. Getting the love from just strangers, just complete strangers. And then, did you throw out any of the merchandise? Did either of you throw out any of the grunt style merchandise from the stage?
I did not. I was standing behind the banner, just enjoying it, taking it all in.
Yeah.
Question. Were the fireworks way better than any other fireworks that we've ever seen, or were they like, fireworks? And they were great.
Um, yes, yes, they were very good. I was hearing the whispers of it is the biggest fireworks in this side of North America and all this stuff,
Yep.
and I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, is that like driving by and seeing these are the best tacos in town? I wanted to witness that, and yeah, it was a lot more than I even expected.
Nice.
The drone
Yeah,
Nice.
I
show,
think I think we have a
Yep.
video for it.
Yes.
I am from Germantown, Illinois, about 45 minutes east of St. Louis.
I'm from Amarillo, Texas, but I'm stationed in Quantico, Virginia.
I live in Buffalo, Missouri.
I live in Temple, Texas.
Indianapolis, Indiana.
I drove here from Alaska in 5 days, 3,900 miles, because I had to get here for this, for the 10-year anniversary.
I've never been to St. Louis. This is my first time. So it definitely was a high note. It was a great experience.
This is my third event back as a sober sailor.
Every time I come to a hike, it's an opportunity to grow a little bit.
It's grounding to be around all these folks. We're all individuals, but we're one big happy family when it comes to our healing and our mental health together.
Honestly, on the stage, I was getting a little teary-eyed thinking about my guys.
To those who served,
I get that feeling I had when I was 19 and in the thick of shit and knew that I was still safe.
Every veteran that I've met on IW hikes, there is a moment when it just clicks.
It takes me back, and playing the Top Gun soundtrack, walking down the street, flying our flags, like, I feel like a 19-year-old ready to go. Like,
You're on the hike and you meet that one person, have that one conversation, and it just, boom, happens.
It's been an amazing journey to be with IW through the years, to be part of something special and have 10 years of that.
At the end of the day, this is all we got, each other.
I came here just for this. This. I love you guys so much.
Yeah, buddy. I want to go back and do that again. You know, good news for everybody. We're doing it again next year, the 11th year anniversary. 11th year anniversary IW. We're going to do it again. So great. It was wonderful seeing everybody. And thank you so much, Lex and Stacy, for coming up and talking about it. I appreciate it. Lex, good seeing you, dude. Next, we're going to jump into talking about the Hike Back documentary. And then after that, we're going to talk about the Des Moines hike with the LC from the Des Moines. So, Stacy, Hike Back documentary. Anna, Hike Back documentary. Go. How's it going? How's the release? Tell me about the launch. Tell me about the screenings. What's going on?
Man, well, it actually has gone way better than anticipated. And so, for those of you that don't know, the Hike Back is the IW documentary. It really shows where we came from and our history and our roots. So, we really want to show people how much it took to get to where we are today. And we released it on July 4th for our 10-year anniversary on YouTube and I think Amazon Prime. Currently I've been monitoring the YouTube, and it's an hour-long documentary. We released it on July 4th when everyone's hanging out with their families, all of that, and we're currently at 237 hours watched, which is just absolutely incredible because from a marketing perspective, in a way that could just be each individual private screenings. If anyone does want to have a screening, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be able to get one for you guys. But one of the documentary's actually been out for a couple of years now, but it has been put into festivals and things like that and has won tons of awards. And we just got to the point where we wanted to make sure that the public could see it and see a little bit of our history and where we came from. And it's a pretty emotional story. It really shows you the mission behind what we're just doing. It's beyond just the actions. It shows really a lot of people who gave their heart and soul and blood, sweat, and tears to help move this mission forward and really what it gave back to them. So I would definitely recommend it to everyone.
Oh yeah, huge shout out to the foundation and the founders. Stacy, tell us about your emotional reaction to seeing the film.
I mean, I'm an emotional person, but seeing the dedication of the founders and everyone that made what we do today possible. Without their first efforts, we wouldn't be 10 years in. But also with that, being able to share that with non-military and civilians, they get to see the emotional component that we bring into our organization, and why our mission is so important, and why we are so um, gung-ho on making sure that our mission doesn't fail, because it's not about me, it's not about the LCs, it's about us as a family and making sure we make it to the next day.
I agree. I agree. I mean, the latest data studies that we've seen, 57% of veterans reported that after attending IW events, their suicidal ideation either completely stopped or dramatically reduced, and just phenomenal to see um, the word getting out and see how everything began and how it's starting to crystallize in all these different cities and these different tribes and communities that are being built around emotional vulnerability and emotional intelligence and being able to support one another. Because as a society, I feel as if we've been taught, someone brings you a problem, you have to give them an immediate solution. Someone tells you they're suicidal, we got to call an ambulance, we got to get you hospitalized. And a lot of what helped my healing journey was actually just people being willing to listen, give me a hug, hold my hand, support me as I kind of went internally and found different ways to kind of work through my own healing process. But I needed that peer support, right? And the peer support area is not something that the VA is outfitted to really provide. They can't help you make friends. Uh, they probably try in a lot of different areas, and I'm not knocking any of that. I just know as a whole, that's a gap in care. Is you get out of your platoon, which is your emotional safety net that you didn't even realize was there. Like me, I didn't even realize it was a thing until it was gone, and then it was like, wow, that emotional safety net, that peer support, that is everything. Like I could go through Fallujah, Ramadi, Helmand River Valley. I could go on any helo in the middle of the night to any operation or mission anywhere and not even bat an eye because I was held down by my platoon. And when you feel like you're adrift, in the civilian world, and you don't have that platoon cohesiveness, and some folks don't have that family safety net the way that some others do. IW becomes that tribe, and IW has become that tribe for me. And I think it comes through in the film. And I think it's just been an incredible journey, and it's a great way to celebrate the journey is to see how it all started, how it all began, right?
I don't
Absolutely.
struggle
And
with
also,
depression. Depression struggles with me.
well, and also, you're taking a lot of type A control of people, and you want them to express their feelings, and that doesn't just happen overnight, and it's really building those relationships. And there's people in IW that will never know their impact, but that's what we do every day. We fight for each other, we're each other's battle buddy, and through thick and thin we get to do life together. So
Wife, happy life.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were taught to shove our emotions down, and that weakness was to show emotion. Weakness was to acknowledge emotions, pain, fear. The only emotions that were allowed were happy or angry. You're either happy or you're angry. Those things are approved. Those are good to go. All your other emotions, admitting anxiety, admitting hopelessness, admitting loneliness, feeling betrayed, all these different things, not allowed. Just shove them down, drink, take a pill, whatever. And it's great to have a community where I feel like I can talk about emotions and emotional healing without being judged and without there and actually just celebrated. Like everybody's like, I think it's almost the new courage, right? The old courage was just be super hardcore through everything and don't admit any weakness. And I think the new courage is to be able to say, wait, no, I'm a strong dude. I have a lot of courage. I have a lot of strength, but I also have a lot of emotional pain, and I'm okay with talking about both sides of who I am.
and we talk about the benefits for veterans, and there's so many benefits for veterans to be involved with irreverent warriors. But it's more than that. There's a ripple effect through our families, through our communities, and through our world. Because when we're made better, we better everybody else around us. And, IW saves lives, but they also save families, they save friendships, they save careers. It doesn't just stop with the person. SLCs, we put it all on the line every day because our heart is this mission, because we know how many lives we save. But it goes beyond the veteran life. It's all the lives past that we're impacting to make the world a better place.
That's a beautiful thing about Irreverent Warriors is that our mission isn't technically events, even though our main event is a Silky's hike. Our mission is bringing veterans together using humor and camaraderie, and that's building that community. And that's truly what every single human needs. We're just learning how to speak the language of veterans and build that community and create that opportunity for people to build that in their lives. And so whenever I hear that someone is actually using the tools provided and building something in their lives, it just kind of fills me almost with a little bit of gratification that everything that I'm pouring into this mission is worth something. It's not just a fleeting, I had the best weekend of my life at this hike and now I'm depressed and now I'm just going to wait a whole year for the next hike. But it's the people that have been like, I have been able to work through hard things in myself. And like, I've had friends call me out. It's been uncomfortable, but now I've been able to find a little bit of purpose or work towards something. And hearing things like that is really what fuels me personally, where it's like, great, somebody has had their life so positively impacted that now they're positively impacting other people. So thanks for sharing that.
Are you saying that love spreads like a virus?
It
Well,
does. It's contagious.
yeah.
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it in the
Team
veteran
Hunters.
community. Yeah, let's do it in the veteran community. Let's bring it. The veteran community is not ready. We're coming.
Aggressive Care Bear, you will be
Speaking of
loved.
yeah, speaking of the hike back, and speaking of hikes, let's start talking about Silky hikes coming up. I know we've got Des Moines. Des Moines' a big one that's coming up, and there's a lot of folks driving very long distances to get to the Des Moines hike. And we've got Olivia here, the local coordinator for Des Moines. Tell us about it. What are you excited about, Olivia? What is going on in Des Moines?
Hello. What am I excited about? First, our record-breaking number. We have currently 136 registrants, and I just had, while we were on the phone doing this, I've had 2 people sign up since. So I think we're up to about
Wow.
8 and climbing. And
Wow.
it's not just Iowa people. What's shocking me is that it's people from all over. I've got people from Texas and Ohio and Kansas, and like I'm blown away by the number of out-of-towners that are coming in for the Des Moines Silkies hike this weekend. To kick things off, tonight we have our meet and greet, which we are doing a black and white party to celebrate the anniversary of Irreverent Warriors. A little bit classy, a little bit trashy, and a whole lot irreverent. So think about your Silkies hike with a bow tie or a tuxedo t-shirt, sequins and jorts, that kind of.
Great. That sounds phenomenal. Tell me about the actual. So on the hike, are we going to be? I'm driving up from St. Louis, so immediately
Yes.
after this podcast, I'm jumping in my car and I'm driving up. So I'll be seeing you tonight. But tell us about the route. Are we going to be going by any historical landmarks? Are we going to be seeing anything that you wouldn't see in any other city? Is there anything interesting that's going to be going on other than awesome, hilarious people and antics?
So we start our hike off at the Capitol complex. So you'll get to see the state capitol, but we start off at our World War II memorial, which is right behind, and it's a really cool memorial to see. And then we're also going to stop by our VFW memorial that's there on the Capitol grounds.
Great.
Take a picture there. Yeah.
And isn't the new commander of the VFW is a female, right? The first one. Tell me about that.
So the new Senior Vice National VFW Commander is Carol Whitmore, and she's actually a fellow Iowan, and I invited her to say a few words at Step Off for us. And she's really excited. I've spoken with her a couple of times about it, and she's really excited to speak about Irreverent Warriors and that partnership with the VFW.
Wonderful. Yeah, I saw that in action when I was in Texas, and it's a horrible tragedy down there. But the VFW, Reverent Warriors, and the Grunt style folks were all working together really well, hand in hand, to try to support that community. And I think it's a beautiful partnership when it comes to that example that I saw.
Yes, absolutely.
What's something that you're most nervous about?
Oh, goodness. I'm nervous. We've never had 140 people on our hike before. We average about 80 people. So I just want to make sure everybody is staying safe and having a good time. And I also want to make sure people are fed. So I think I'm most nervous about herding 140 cats. So
That's fair. That's fair. I've realized, like, man, less than 150 is easier because establishments can hold it and everything. But generally, if you have enough food, water, bathrooms, everyone figures out a way to have a good time. They'll figure out everything else. So just keep pushing them snacks if you need.
yes, absolutely. We got a huge donation of chips and sunflower seeds. So
Nice.
750 bottles of water.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, smart. From the hiker experience side, I want you to know that I've been on 30-person hikes and I've been on 350-person hikes, and they all feel the same to me because when you're in the hike element, you're spread out, right? It's only a couple of people side by side and you're part of the hike. And no matter what size hike you're on, you're hiking next to the coolest people you ever met, like people you never would expect to connect with and meet with and enjoy spending time with. But just like that emotional positivity and support from strangers and just getting to know, like making new friends on the fly is so cool. So yeah, 140 is a ton. I can't wait to see you all, and I can't wait to come up there. It's an honor to be able to come hike with you all. So yeah, let's go Iowa. That's my home state. Let's get back there. Let's do it.
So we also have a Navy veteran, JT Stockman, with Roadwork Comedy, and he is coming to perform at lunch. This is a newer thing.
Great.
He's trying to get integrated with Irreverent Warriors, and so I think this is the first time he's performing in conjunction with the Silkies hike. So I think that's a completely different opportunity than most Silkies hikes have. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Great. Yeah. Stand-up comedy at lunch. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. We want every stop to have a stand-up comic. All right. Well, thank you, Stacy and Olivia, for joining us, and really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you all. Yeah. So yeah, that's great. I mean, we've heard from around the country really today on what all's going on in the IW world. I know there's a lot of friends and family outings coming up, a lot of FAFO events happening in different states. I know I've seen ones popping up for East Coast states. North Carolina comes to mind. Florida. You guys have a big party. Tell me about your beach bash again. I need to try to figure out if I'm going to make that drive.
No, so our FAFO event is going to be a mini hike, and then it's going to be like around the water, and that's coming up next weekend on the 19th. But our beach bash, our Gulf Coast Beach Bash, is going to be Columbus Day weekend. I would think it's October 11th. And so, really, Nate is on my team, and he's kind of doing that for his event this year. And our goal is kind of to bring everyone together like we would a hike, but then we don't have to hike. We can just hang out on the beach, and we're gonna have we have three huge pavilions that we're gonna have that are just for us. We're gonna have one for food, one for games and prizes, and then one for if people just want to hang out or maybe get some resources. But it's going to be laid back so people can have free food, free, hydration, and just hang out, play games, go to the beach if they want, play some volleyball, things like that. So it's looking like it's just going to be an awesome day on the beach where everything's provided for you and all you have to do is show up. It's for everyone. So It's free for veterans, first responders, and their families, and then it's a donation for everyone else if they want to come. So if you don't have anyone in your family, but you're just a supporter or a patriot, you can come. We just ask that you donate to help sponsor the event for the people we're putting on for, which is law enforcement and veterans and their families. So hopefully it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have music and all that too. And then
Yeah, you have the ocean
maybe
and you have the
Tennessee
ocean and a
barbecue.
beach. Yeah, you have an
Yeah.
ocean and a beach and palm trees and things that the rest of us in the United States don't have.
Well, and it's the best beaches too, and I've been to a lot of beaches, and it's just like the Emerald Coast is the Emerald Coast for a reason. The sand doesn't get hot. We don't even really have seagulls, just pigeons, and they're not as aggressive as seagulls like in the Northeast, because I grew up in the Northeast, and those seagulls will steal a hot dog from the bun as you're taking a bite of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
But
yeah, the
yeah,
annual IW Beach Bash sounds like something that I should consider penciling in on my schedule if I can get away from my responsibilities. Yes, I will. I will definitely put that on there. And I will bring my IW flag and I will plant it in the sand.
yeah, it's gonna be a really good time. And then for people who do want to come out of town and everything like that, there's so many hotels and Airbnbs that are just kind of located in that area that would just be walking distance. So we're trying to make it as easily accessible and least tasks to the attendees as possible. So if you're showing up, you hopefully won't have to bring water, food, anything like that. We'll have shades, games, entertainment, good time,
Nice.
fun jokes.
Love it. Love it. But when you get the donor drive link in the website set up, let me know so I can check it out.
It
And
is. It is set up. It's set up
great.
for a little bit. Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Have a wonderful weekend, and we hope to see you at one of our events soon. Thanks.
Salute
Peace
you.
out.